So an update on the running hot issue. So when I had it in last, I hadn't updated you guys, but when I had it in last, I got the radiator and the fans replaced. It ran me altogether, parts and labor, it ran me $1,100. The fans actually ran more than the radiator, which I was kind of surprised at. So we got that done, and since I've been back out, and especially on that run out of Texas going up north, I hit several inclines, especially with that weight, that if it was going to act up, it should have acted up. So as of this moment, it hasn't. So I'm hoping that everything's good. I'm not 100% sure yet, because I haven't hit some of the inclines that I had hit before that it had happened on. But you know, comparing the two, I believe the hills that I've been on have been comparable to the other ones, to where the running hot issue was happening. So I do believe it's taken care of. Now, the only bad thing with getting both of those things done is don't know which one was actually the problem. Was it a little bit of both? Was it one or the other? Don't know 100% on that. I didn't want to take the chance of, if I picked one and it ended up being the other, then I got to come in and have downtime again. So I didn't want to go through that, so I just went ahead and replaced both of them at the same time. So that was the thinking behind that. If any of you were sitting there thinking, "Oh man, what did you do that for, man? You should have just changed that one and not the other one, man. I bet it was this one." That may be, believe me, that's going to bother me as well, trying to move past it. But at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking, you know, even when they had called me about it, I was thinking, I think I'm going to do the radiator. I'm kind of leaning towards the radiator. And then I'll switch over and I'll start thinking, man, the fans kind of sounded not right at times. But were the fans not sounding right because I was over listening, you know, over diagnosing something? You know, was it something that I always heard before, never paid attention to, but now I had the issue and now I'm hearing every single little noise? I think I lean more in the on the side of it being the radiator, because the fact that it's all began with the coolant flush just leads me to believe that they created some kind of blockage in the radiator. I can't see how doing a radiator flush would affect the fans, but hey, anything's possible. As far as my 17, my other van, my other Transit, yesterday the driver said that when he was climbing a hill, the wrench light came on and it went into limp mode and he had to pull over, shut it down for a few minutes. When he started it back up, he was able to go. He had power to be able to run and hasn't had any issues with it since. Was wanting to get him to stop at a Ford dealership to get the code read. No check engine light, it was just a wrench light. But as far as his route that he's on today, it's tough to find a Ford dealership. I called a service department at one that I was hoping that he could stop by, but they wasn't going to be open when he gets there. They had said that you can go to AutoZone and the code will be read for that. Well, told the driver, stop by the AutoZone. He stopped by the AutoZone and there was no codes. So as soon as he gets in an area that that has a place that I've dealt with before, garage-wise, Ford-wise, I'll have them hook up to it and see if they can reach a code, because they can get into the system more in depth than AutoZone can. Now, when that happened, the only dealings I've ever had with the wrench light on a Ford was in my Econoline, when I first got my Econoline, and that wrench light ended up being a throttle body. So that was my first initial thought, is thinking that it's the throttle body. And if it does end up being a throttle body, that throttle body is fairly new, so that's under warranty. But when I called the service department, at the Ford dealership that I deal with at home, and I was asking him about it, asking him what could be the cause of the wrench light. And he's telling me one of two things. He said it could either be a spark plug cracked and that caused it, or it could be transmission related. Now, my limited understanding of the difference between a check engine light and a wrench light is that the wrench light is kind of like non-emissions related, which that's why that don't make sense that he mentioned about the spark plug. And he said that could happen and it wouldn't trigger a check engine light. So I'm leaning towards it being something to do with the transmission, simply because I have had some lightweight issues with that transmission in the past. Nothing major. I've went over it before to where I was having a shudder, and the shudder was so you couldn't get the shudder to that symptom to act up when I took it to any transmission shops. So they said to just deal with it until it acts up enough to where I could take it to the shop and they can drive it down the road and they can feel it. Well, when I did it got to that point, it would cause a misfire. Take it into the shop, they fix the misfire, they totally disregard what I'm telling them, that I believe it's transmission related, how it initially starts. Oh no, this will do it. And then get down the road a couple 100 miles and the shutter's there again. Went through that twice. Changed ignition coils, changed spark plug, changed a sensor, and still had the problem when it was all said and done. So I decided, you know what I'm going to try. And for any of you that's already heard this, sorry for the redundancy, but so what I decided to try is I'm going to try a transmission flush. So I did the transmission flush, and lo and behold, the shutter's gone. And the shutter stayed gone for around 40 to 50,000 miles. And when the shutter came back after 40, 50,000 miles, I decided I'm going to do a filter and fluid change it over to a full synthetic and change the filter. And so far, since I've done that, that's been roughly 150,000 miles and no shutter. So these vehicles are just kind of weird, man. That's why I'm saying you just don't know if on the coolant flush, did it mess up the fans? Could it have been the fans? I don't know. You wouldn't think that doing that would mess something up electronically, but again, I've never heard of a transmission issue causing a misfire. So what? I don't know. I just don't know. I say all that. I give all that background on that. So you have to say that's why I'm concerned that it may be leaning towards the transmission having an issue with that wrench light coming on. But we'll find out. There hasn't been any kind of issues. He says there hasn't been any kind of shuddering or any kind of issues. But again, don't know. I mean, that's the trouble. That's the trouble when you have vehicles. You just don't know, because you don't know what each person knows or pays attention to with the vehicle to notice certain things. So, like the last driver I had, I knew I had to get something taken care of with it. And when I hopped in the van, I had to drop the van off during a time off we had. He drops the van off. I hop in it to go to where I'm going to. I think it was getting some tires rotated and balanced or something. Oh no, it was a drive shaft coupling. I was going to get that taken care of. And the way that van drove, I was just like, holy shit, why didn't you tell me about this? And to him, he didn't notice it. To me, it was it was extremely noticeable. So I ended up getting everything taken care of. So as I said, I just say all that to say is that you just can't be 100% because you don't know what each person can pay attention to or feel or notice and whatnot. Like for me, there's people, there's something I may miss. That's why when I call Ford or talk to anybody about any of the issues I have, I try to give them as many bits of information as I can about the issue. No matter how unrelated, you know, I hear a whistle sound when I'm doing this, or there's a click when that, or whatever it may be. Even though it seems unrelated, I try to give them every bit of information. Because, again, go back to the transmission issue with the shutter in the 17, they keep telling me, oh, no, it's just this, you know, replace this, or it's just because of that, you know, and it's always the ignition coil or the cylinder issue that they're eyeballing, and they're like, there's just, they wasn't willing to correlate a transmission problem causing the misfire. So it, you know, it cost me, you know, a good bit of money to eventually figure out the problem. I just wanted to give you guys all that shit, give you all that update, man, for what it's worth. Hopefully it helps somebody, or, you know, at least give you some experience, or give you some more reasons not to get a Ford, if that's how you're looking at it. Still, overall, I enjoy the Fords. I think they're good. It's been weird issues. It's not like it's not on all the vans. Like all the vans, it isn't consistently the same problem. There's certain things that are, but these are just like out of the ordinary issues that I haven't seen anybody else talk about. And, you know, I have. Guys, so just got loaded here in Chicago. We got 6 pieces, 90 pounds, which is basically just 6 little individual plastic totes, probably, I don't know, 1.5 by 10 inches each tote. Not supposed to deliver till the morning. Man, I'm not sure if I want to run up by there and try and get this off tonight or not. I shouldn't say I don't know if I want to. I want to. I don't know if I should try, because there's nothing up there near where I'm dropping. So I was thinking about staying at a Petro down the road and grabbing dinner there and just hanging out there for a while, and then move up first thing in the morning. But I don't know. I'm retarded. Once I got a load on a van, I'll probably go right up there, man. So I'll update you. Alright guys, so just got loaded. I'm here in Illinois, Beloit, Illinois, South Beloit, and going to Kansas City. I got 1 piece, 600 pounds, delivers tonight. It is 1:40 Central. It's supposed to deliver by midnight tonight, Central. So yeah, we're good to go. Nice little quick one. I did an update once I got loaded on that last one. It was supposed to deliver Saturday morning, you know, this morning, but I was able to get it unloaded last night, which was cool. Yeah, so let me just get this done and I'll update you guys.